Are you a fan of Julian Assange?
Yes, because Up Late believes unfettered freedom of speech is the only way to air important issues in a mature way. This guy f***s Victoria for 10 years, wipes his dick on the curtains on the way out. Wikileaks has published all sorts of controversial bits and bobs since it started in 2006, but this is the thing that got Julian Assange into trouble. That's American Apache helicopters killing a dozen Iraqis and 2 Reuters news staff. That was before helmet cam, body cam and gun cam footage was everywhere as it is now.
Craig, no! Craig, stop!
The Apache footage was released to WikiLeaks in 2010 by military analyst Chelsea Manning. Then he, now she, deployed the highly sophisticated espionage technique of copying the material onto a CD purporting to be a Lady Gaga album. And walking out the front door pretending to sing along to Born This Way. The July 2010 release of the so-called Afghan war logs, 91,000 individual documents, triggered a 14-year process for Assange that ended this week when he landed in Canberra, the only place in the world as dreary as the inside of an Ecuadorian embassy.
It's been a long 14 years.
Which we're going to try to condense to under 2 minutes. In August 2010, a month after the Afghan logs were made public, Assange is arrested for sex offences allegedly committed when he visited Sweden. The warrant was withdrawn for lack of evidence, but when the investigation was reopened in September, Assange flew from Sweden to the UK. A month later, WikiLeaks releases 400,000 files known as the Iraqi war logs. And a month after that, Interpol issues an international arrest warrant for Assange for rape. He's granted bail after his supporters cough up a £240,000 bond, but in Feb 2011, a British judge grants the extradition request from Stockholm. Assange appeals to the High Court, and in November 2011, he loses. When the British Supreme Court also rejects his appeal, he knocks on the door of the Ecuadorian embassy in Knightsbridge and is granted political asylum on the grounds that if he goes to Sweden, he might be deported to the US, where he might be executed for treason.
Dead man walking!
He stays in that embassy for 3 long years, during which time he's untouchable.
Diplomatic immunity.
In May 2017, Sweden drops the rape charges, and in April 2019, Ecuador withdraws his asylum status, signalling that his diplomatic immunity
It's just been revoked.
He's arrested by British bobbies for breaching bail conditions imposed by British courts in 2012.
Hello, what's all this then?
And in May 2019, he's sentenced to 50 months jail in Belmarsh prison. In the same month, the US Department of Justice indicts him.
How do people hate me?
18 charges of conspiring with Chelsea to hack into the Pentagon. Also that month, Sweden says it's reopening the rape inquiry. Again.
Make up your mind.
In June 2019, Washington urges London to extradite Assange to the US.
I'll give you anything you ask for.
And in November 2019, the Swedes drop the rape case. Again.
Make up your mind!
In January 2021, a British judge rules Assange should not be sent to the US on the grounds he might kill himself. But 11 months later, the US wins its High Court bid to overturn that decision, and in June 2022, the extradition is approved by Downing Street. Assange appeals. Again. And the extradition is put on hold. Again. When the UK courts rule in March of this year that the US must guarantee he will not face the death penalty when he lands in America. In April, Joe Biden says the US is thinking about dropping the prosecution.
Yeah.
And in May, the British High Court gives Assange permission to launch a new appeal. Again.
This is ridiculous.
Missed your deadline.
The story of my career.
Would you have published the stuff Julian Assange did?
Yes. Airing uncomfortable material is what journalists do.
What a scoop!
Problem is, Assange started to believe his own hype and probably thought he was above it all. Happens to media people, they become megalomaniacs. I'm Ben Harvey. I'm Ben Harvey. I'm Ben Harvey. I'm Ben Harvey. I'm Ben Harvey.